Hunting season is upon us, and it's time to get geared up for the blind. Winchester, the official ammunition of Ducks Unlimited. Winchester has what you need to be successful this season with a great lineup of shot shell products, including Expert, Dry Lock, Final Pass, and Last Call Double Shot. Check out the brand new Final Pass, a premium steel blend load that utilizes 2 shot sizes for the perfect balance of pattern density and energy. Or try Last Call Double Shot with a devastating payload of tungsten and steel. Visit Winchester.com to learn more and get ready for your next outdoor adventure.
Looking to build before next spring? Order now with Morton Buildings and get site prep savings by October 31st. Get ahead of winter weather and save big during Morton Buildings' Winter Build Sales Event. With offers this great, why wait? Visit MortonBuildings.com and click Get Started today. Certain restrictions may apply. Savings offer on new building purchases by October 31st, 2025. Building delivery required by April 30th, 2026. Contact your local Morton office for more details.
At Ducks Unlimited, we know the outdoors belong to everyone. That's why we're excited to present Ascend, a new series celebrating the journeys of women in the outdoors. In every episode, you'll meet women who are exploring, learning, and connecting with nature in their own unique ways. Whether you're an experienced outdoors woman or just curious about getting started, this series is for you. Our mission is simple: to inspire more women to get outdoors, try new things, and connect with a community that understands the power of nature. We're here to share your stories. Ascend. Authentic women, outdoor adventures.
Hey everyone, join us on today's episode where we connect with Dr. Scott Stevens and we hear about some habitat and hunting updates from the prairies. Scott spent a fair bit of time here the past few weeks hunting in Saskatchewan. We hear how those trips have gone, and then we hear about some of the things that he's got planned, and then we just talk about a few other things that I'm sure you'll be interested in, waterfowl hunting related. Stay with us.
Mic check, please. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ducks Unlimited podcast.
I'm your host, Dr. Mike Brasher.
I'm your host, Katie Burke.
I'm your host, Dr. Jared Henson.
And I'm your host, Matt Harrison.
Welcome to the Ducks Unlimited podcast, the only podcast about all things waterfowl. From hunting insights to science-based discussions about ducks, geese, and issues affecting waterfowl and wetlands conservation in North America. The DUPodcast, sponsored by Purina Pro Plan, the official performance dog food of Ducks Unlimited. Purina Pro Plan, always advancing. Also proudly sponsored by Bird Dog Whiskey and Cocktails. Whether you're winding down with your best friend or celebrating with your favorite crew, Bird Dog brings award-winning flavor to every moment. Enjoy responsibly.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I am your host on this episode, Dr. Mike Brasher. It is October 17th, Friday, and I am excited to announce to everybody that's listening that our guest on today's episode is none other than... That's right. It's Dr. Scott Stevens. Joining us from parts up north, Dr. Scott Stevens is our Senior Director of Prairie and Boreal Conservation Strategy. And this time of year, he is also one of the go-to people for updates on hunting, migration, habitat in that super important area that we like to call the Prairie Pothole region. Scott has lived in the Prairie Pothole region for how many years now? One part or another?
Well, I'm outside it right now, but...
Is that... I did not realize that.
Yeah. Western South Dakota is not in the Prairie Pothole region. I
don't keep track of exactly the geographic location of where you live. I mean, the specific area. I just know South Dakota.
I am outside of duck country now. But
okay. All right. Before that, can you go along with me here? Before that. Winnipeg's not even in the...
It's technically outside, but I didn't have to drive too far to get in duck country there.
Okay. Well, what if I say Dr. Scott Stevens has lived in proximity to the Prairie Pothole region for how long? 2 decades?
Yeah, 2.5 decades.
Have you ever lived in the Prairie Pothole region? Yeah, you did when you were in Bismarck.
Well, Bismarck's technically outside, right? Yeah.
Is it? This isn't going the way I planned it. Actually, I didn't plan it, so that's probably the way you'd expect it to go. Bismarck is not in the PPR. It's right outside it.
Well, it's like right along the Missouri River, right?
Okay.
So you got to go a little bit east to get in glaciated stuff.
Okay. So back to my other question. Have you ever lived in the Prairie Pothole region?
Good question. Maybe not now that we dive into the technicalities, but I've spent plenty of time there, even though I'm not living in the
I just took all the credentials that I thought you had and flushed them down the toilet.
You did, and you didn't know you were going there, did you?
I sure did not. I mean, I thought I was on something good there, but anyway, that's kind of the way it goes whenever we get together on these types of things, to just sort of off the cuff talk about the fun things that are happening this time of year, which is something that you know a lot about and have spent your entire sort of independent and semi-independent life taking part of. And that is this sort of annual tradition of chasing all the birds, chasing the ducks and geese. And so you've been doing a fair bit of that lately, right?
Yeah, I've had a few trips to chase birds, and so
whereabouts? Give us the locations where you've gone. Not the coordinates. Can't do that.
Yeah, I've been in Saskatchewan for a few weeks now. Like, I think if, over the past month, if you determined your residency based on where you've spent the most days, it would probably be Saskatchewan. And I go back tomorrow.
Did you get a visa before you came back in?
I did not get a visa.
Before you came back into the States. Your citizenship is still stands.
They took my passport.
Did they? Okay.
They were like, welcome home.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, so you've been in Saskatchewan a fair bit. You're going back to Saskatchewan. Have you hunted stateside yet?
I have not hunted ducks in South Dakota yet because I was in Saskatchewan for the opener.
Okay. Yeah, and then for your teal hunting back in September, Manitoba. You were in Manitoba there. Okay. Give us the rundown of how habitat conditions were over that time period and then across those different areas. And I think, tell us if things have changed at all.
Not for the better. I was going to say, what is that quote about me being a dark cloud in a ray of sunshine?
Yeah.
Conditions are not great.
We rewrote part of an article, though, that's going to be coming out because we were very pessimistic, and somebody did some sleuthing and was like, yeah, we've had some rain in certain parts of North Dakota that have improved conditions.
Well, it's dry again.
What?
Like, soil moisture is dry. Like, I know we also said, there was some rain in Saskatchewan, there was some flooding in Saskatchewan. Well, I covered a big chunk of Saskatchewan and it's still dry, still very dusty. Soil moisture is not very good. So, but we are not in great shape.
So Katrina Terry we tried to get her on this episode because I wanted somebody to balance out
my pessimism,
your pessimism, the dark cloud that you were going to be bringing. Katrina, however, was not able to join us because she took off early today, as she is entitled to do, and happy for her to do that, because she is out scouting right now as we record this, and it sounds like she's going to be camping and then trying to shoot some birds before the end of the day here. So,
but she shoots upland birds too, so
she does that.
She could be chasing those guys.
I think she's probably.
I don't know if she's chasing ducks or not. Do you?
I bet she is. We could make up that story for her.
Well, in Saskatchewan, I found ducks. It's just, the wetlands that we hunted were semi-permanent wetlands, and there was 2 or 3 feet of mudflat between what used to be emergent vegetation. So, that is not ideal conditions for semi-permanent wetlands. There were still ducks using those. We harvested good numbers of ducks, but wetland conditions were not great, and there was zero seasonal water, which, as we talk about stuff, that seasonal water is really the engine of duck production. So you can see all those wetlands out in the fields, they're grown up in kochia or they've been disked because they were wet, and they're
what is kochia?
Kochia?
Yeah.
Kochia is a weed.
Oh.
It's like tumbleweed kind of stuff.
Like, is it native?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's native, but it is definitely a weed species.
Okay. I'm going to take another run at trying to find some favorable habitat conditions in your narrative.
Okay.
So when we rewrote sort of a portion of our article, it's going to be coming out. It's like 2025 status of waterfowl.
Yeah.
We painted this picture of optimism that maybe, kind of given recent moisture that had fallen across parts of the prairies. And the other thing that we can say right now is that essentially the entire prairie pothole region, if you look at it on the North American Drought Monitor, it's out of drought. It's out of, what do they call it, meteorological drought, right?
Right.
So it's out of that.
So we have had some precipitation. So I think that's a soil moisture thing, right?
Okay.
Like we're out of drought. We haven't had below normal precipitation.
Is the soil moisture condition getting to a point where if it were to get super cold right now, you're going to get a frost seal? It's not. No,
not based on what I saw. Like dusty, dry, cracks in the ground. Like,
and you drove.
Not good.
You drove from South Dakota to Saskatchewan.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be up there next week. I'm going up to not for hunting, but for a conference. You're going up for hunting. I'm going up for a conference. We are going to try to get out and drive across the prairie one day. So I'll
be
get
interested in what you see. Where are you located?
I'll get out and I'll kick the dirt a little bit and see if I can get some dust to fly or if it's kind of mucky. Yeah. We're going to be in Saskatoon. And then I think we're going to take a drive down towards Allen Hills. Check that out. So
I was in the Allendana Hills.
And it's dry?
Dry.
It's been a long time since I've been there. I have heard, I know some people that have gone back there hunting the past couple of years. I used to hunt with there 7-8 years ago, last time I was there. And they said some of the conversion of what remaining grass there was, over even that short time frame is pretty dramatic. There's a lot of areas that were of the few areas that were in grass are now in cropland, and so that type of pressure is still happening even in that landscape. So,
yeah, that continues unfortunately, and drainage of wetlands too. So yeah. I would, hey, when the report turns and like it's wet, I will be glad to come back and tell you a story about, I had to haul the decoys in with the sled because we had to walk in the fields because it was so sopping wet that, we nearly got stuck on the gravel roads.
Yep.
But that ain't the case right now.
You hadn't got stuck on the gravel roads there in how many years?
Yeah, a number of years. I will get the Facebook memories from that time.
Yeah.
But I forget how many years ago it was. Yeah. There was, 6 inches of wet snow when I was in Saskatchewan, probably 7 or 8 years ago. And it's like we were in 4-wheel drive on the main gravel road grid.
Now, I did see something just yesterday. I don't think this was a Facebook memory. I think this was like right now. They got snow across parts of Saskatchewan, right?
They did get some snow.
And they got some rain. There was that system that came up, and there was some rain that dropped across southeastern Saskatchewan, southwestern Manitoba, and then in the Dakotas.
Yeah. But the ground is thirsty, is what I'm telling you.
But it's helped. It helps. Kind of give me a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I said, I will be the first guy who will be overjoyed to bring back a glowing report. A glowing report is not available right now.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is the dismal report of the status of the prairies from Dr. Scott Stevens. It's still dry and dusty up there, and we need a lot of rain.
This is true. This is all true.
What about the ducks? What did you see in terms of that? Were you successful? You did. Yeah. We talked about this on a previous episode we just recorded earlier this week. People will hear about later on. But you were able to do some selective shooting, and so there are birds. Shoot some young birds. Did you shoot some old birds?
Some of both. Yeah. Duck numbers were pretty good, despite the fact that water was limited. I mean, there's sometimes when that's an advantage when you're hunting, right?
Yep.
But yeah, we hunted, let me think about this. We hunted twice in the field and twice in the wetland. Is that right? Yeah, I was up there for 4 days. Yeah, something like that. Twice in the field, 2 times in wetlands. And yeah. Did well.
Yeah. You shot well?
Well, I shot okay.
What do you shoot? You shoot a 20 gauge or 12 gauge?
I took both.
Okay.
And the first day we were hunting a wetland and I shot the 20 gauge and I did pretty well. We came out with, I think, 23 greenheads and 1 gadwall.
Who shot the gadwall?
You're
not going to out that person.
It wasn't me. Yeah, it was a guest that we were there with. And it's like, if you want to shoot a gadwall, that's cool.
That's right. Right. It's okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And so then you shot the 12 gauge subsequent day?
Yeah, we had a little more wind. Let me think about this. Where'd we go? Oh, the next day we hunted cranes.
You don't have your notes together for this episode, do you?
I don't have my notes
Probably
together.
because I didn't tell you really what we were going to talk about.
Yeah. First day we hunted ducks on water. Did pretty good. I mean, done with 24 ducks by like 9:00. So that was pretty good.
Yep.
So the friend that we had along had not hunted sandhill cranes before. We found a field that had like 1,000 sandhill cranes in it.
Okay.
So that was tantalizing enough that I tracked down permission. It's always interesting when you're getting permission in Saskatchewan or the Canadian prairies. I had the guy's number from previous year. Told him that I'd found some cranes. Could I get permission to hunt those? Yes, sounds good. When are you going? And it's like, well, we were hunting ducks the next day. So it's like, plan to go Thursday. Well, on Wednesday afternoon, he texts me, another guy stopped. He may be out there too. It's like, that was not exactly what I was excited to hear. Most of the time, they will not do that. Like if you're going Thursday, no one else will have permission for that same day.
Yeah. But he thought it was the more the merrier type of thing, maybe.
Yeah, he must have. And it was a big field. It was like a half section of wheat, and there were cranes in there.
What did you tell him? I think when he said that, what did you say? He was like, "Oh, okay. I said, well, thanks for letting me know."
Yeah, I said, "Thanks. We'll work it out." Tried to make it easy on him. It's like, we'll work it out. So
he could have just been trying to maximize the probability that he actually gets, some sandhill crane, shared with him. I don't know if you do that. I know sometimes you do that, right? Say thank you to the landowner that gives you permission to go hunting. You'll say, here, I'll share some of the harvested game with you, especially sandhill crane. That's what I would do. I might even put, if I wasn't a hunter, and if I owned a field up there in Saskatchewan, but I liked sandhill crane, and I had a bunch of, I might even put up a sign and say, come here to hunt sandhill cranes, and the more the merrier.
Yeah, you could do that. So
I wouldn't do that.
So we got up early. It's like, okay, I want to have choice of where I want to be in the field. So we were out there way early.
Okay, yeah.
And then nobody else showed up.
Oh.
So that was good. I think the other guy that may have stopped, there were some white geese in that field. Like when we first saw it, they kind of went somewhere else. So I think that may have been what the other party was interested in, was white geese. So
hunting sandhill cranes like that, were you pass shooting, or did you have some decoys you're trying to bring them into?
We had some decoys out. We had an A-frame blind set up in the field, all grassed up. Had decoys out. We also put out some dark goose decoys. And most of them weren't trying to land in the decoys, but they were close enough to pull down out of the sky.
Were you sort of deploying your sandhill crane mouth call?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that was bad, but
that was Do you call? I feel like we've had a portion of this discussion before.
Yeah, we have. So my personal challenge is that I am not able to roll my R's with my tongue.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do into the crane call, into a diver call.
Yep.
And so, I'm sort of disadvantaged in that I can't do that. I do the best I can.
Yeah.
We shot 15 cranes, so it worked out okay.
So there's 3 of you then.
3 of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I tell you what, we're going to take a break. I think Mr. Producer, good on taking a break. We need to do that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Got a few more questions for you. Stay with us, folks. A habitat and hunting update from the prairies with Dr. Scott Stevens.
Stay tuned to the Ducks Unlimited podcast, sponsored by Purina Pro Plan and Bird Dog Whiskey, after these messages.
Hunting season is upon us, and it's time to get geared up for the blind. Winchester, the official ammunition of Ducks Unlimited. Winchester has what you need to be successful this season with a great lineup of shot shell products, including Expert, Dry Lock, Final Pass, and Last Call Double Shot. Check out the brand new Final Pass, a premium steel blend load that utilizes 2 shot sizes for the perfect balance of pattern density and energy. Or try Last Call Double Shot with a devastating payload of tungsten and steel. Visit winchester.com to learn more and get ready for your next outdoor adventure.
Looking to build before next spring? Order now with Morton Buildings and get site prep savings by October 31st. Get ahead of winter weather and save big during Morton Buildings' Winter Build Sales Event. With offers this great, why wait? Visit mortonbuildings.com and click Get Started today. Certain restrictions may apply. Savings offer on new building purchases by October 31st, 2025. Building delivery required by April 30th, 2026. Contact your local Morton office for more details.
At Ducks Unlimited, we know the outdoors belong to everyone. That's why we're excited to present Ascend, a new series celebrating the journeys of women in the outdoors. In every episode, you'll meet women who are exploring, learning, and connecting with nature in their own unique ways. Whether you're an experienced outdoors woman or just curious about getting started, this series is for you. Our mission is simple: to inspire more women to get outdoors, try new things, and connect with a community that understands the power of nature. We're here to share your stories. Ascend. Authentic women, outdoor adventures.
Hey, everybody, we are back with Dr. Scott Stevens. We're talking ducks, cranes, geese, dry soil. That's right, dry soil and other things from up in the prairies. Okay, did you went crane hunting, you went duck hunting. Did you bring some of those birds back into the state? Yeah. Okay. Did you have any issues with importing any of those birds? That's something we've been trying to keep track of the past few years, and been working with APHIS to try to ease some of those restrictions. We were successful in doing so a couple years ago, and I think we're still under those same type of guidelines that you got to follow in order to bring birds back in. But you said everything worked well this time again, right?
Yeah, everything worked fine. There were no issues. Actually, nobody even looked at them, but we had them properly packaged. I think I text you the sort of cheat sheet that they give you when you arrive at the U.S. border, and there were a couple things on there that were a little bit of a surprise to me. Like, I think you're supposed to have your boots washed off of all the mud.
Yep. I remember that now. You tell them
technically, you're supposed to have birds individually packaged in a Ziploc.
Yeah, that's right.
I will tell you, I did not do that. I had like 3 widgeon in one Ziploc bag, but it was labeled as 3 widgeon. They were unfrozen, and we could have broken those apart and showed anybody that wanted to look at it.
Yep, I remember we did that one time, and I think it's a bit of a crapshoot on who you get, which border crossing agent you get. And we approached the border, and we're declaring all of our stuff, and had some harvested birds, and I think I had them in like a gallon bag, or maybe even a 2-gallon bag, and I, might have even had like a daily limit in each of the 3 bags that I had. And he was like, "Oh no, we got to pull each of those out." And of course, they weren't frozen, and so they're just waterlogged, and you pull the wings out, and that dude couldn't identify what they were. I had to kind of do the identification. But it was sort of...
You could have told them anything you wanted.
It's kind of fun to identify them and say, yep, that's what this is. Yep, that's what this is. Oh, yeah, this is a canvasback, and this is a redhead. Of course, it doesn't look any different to anybody else that doesn't know about it. But that was, whenever I learned that technically they're supposed to be in individual bags. But whether anybody really calls you on that, I guess just depends on who you get, how they're feeling that day.
Right. Yeah, which... we had gallon bags too, and it's like I could put 4 widgeon in a gallon Ziploc bag, 2 mallards, Do
you just bring the wings and the breastplate back as well?
We did. Yeah, okay. We had the hitch tool, so we used that to clean the birds that we were bringing back. We did. We cooked some there, which they were really good. So yeah. All
right. So you're going back to Saskatchewan next week. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And what are the temperatures looking like? I've taken a peek at them. I think it's going to be down in the upper 20s for low temperature someday next week. What are you planning for?
Yeah, I'm taking my real winter coat, my camouflage hunting coat. Since it's not the official sponsor brand, so I won't.
You won't say it, right? Good, appreciate that.
We won't say it, but
I saw the wheels turning. I thought that's what you were. Yeah, contemplating.
Yeah. It's a thicker insulated coat, and I will take that. Like to date, I've just been hunting in sort of a fleece hoodie, camouflage fleece hoodie.
Okay. So it's been kind of warm, kind of mild, that type.
Yeah, it was very warm and mild when I was there on the most recent trip.
Yeah, I think things are supposed to cool down a little bit, and so that's a good thing. Maybe get some of those birds moving a little bit. And how long does that season run in Saskatchewan? Does it go through?
Probably until December.
You think so?
Like technically, yeah. Like physically, it doesn't ever last that long. Like
it can't run that long, can it? Because they have to still.
Sure it can.
Yeah, but they have. What's their season length? They have to have a season length. They're in the.
All right.
They in the.
You want me to look this up?
I want you to look it up because they're in the Central Flyway, like the Mississippi Flyway. But I don't know if. But those regulations only apply in the states.
Right.
Because harvest regulations are set separately between the U.S. and Canada, but the Migratory Bird Treaty Act kind of sets the frameworks within which seasons can be set. That's a good question.
Here, I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it.
How many days do we get in Saskatchewan? Ducks.
Let's see.
Let's look for ducks.
Hunting districts. There's 2 districts. Buy your permit online. Consult the blah, 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 blah. Cranes. Okay.
Got it.
September 1st to December 16th.
It runs continuous.
Yeah.
September.
8 ducks.
October.
8 dark
November.
geese. 5 sandhill cranes. 10 coots. 10 snipe.
So
knock yourself out.
September 1st through December what?
16th.
16th. I don't know what the basis of that is. It's interesting.
Shoot them if you got them. That's the basis up there.
I guess.
you know what the whole Canadian
somebody who's
harvest
listening to this
has
knows the answer to this, and they're probably screaming at their radio, and that's fine. Give me a call. We'll get you on here to explain how all this works.
Yeah. Well, you know how it works. Like they translate the regulations to French every year, and it's like, go shoot 8 ducks. That's the way it works in Canada.
A little bit more sophisticated and thoughtful than that, but
there's no AHM. It's like 8 ducks, 8 geese.
But it's informed by analyses and data and all that.
Yeah, and they're smart guys, up there. Jim Leifler.
Yep. Frank Baldwin.
We got lots of colleagues who make sure that. But
I'm going to see those dudes next week, actually.
But the percentage of the total North American harvest that comes from
pretty small.
The Canadian side is pretty small.
That's not what I hear. That's not what I hear down here, though.
Yeah, well, you get misinformation down there is the challenge.
You think so?
Yes. Not grounded in fact.
I don't know. What if the data are wrong? I mean, that's one of the hypotheses that's out there. You can't believe the data. It's got to be more. All these people that go
if you can't believe the data,
like,
where does that leave us? Well, that's my question.
That's a fair point. Fair point. Okay. What else do you have on your calendar here in the coming months? I know late January.
Go ahead. How about this? I have a question.
Yep.
So this was an interesting phenomena that we noticed when we were there. So I had arrived. What day did I arrive? 5th of October.
You saw the Northern Lights. That is a fascinating phenomenon. No, you didn't.
No. Well, we saw some Northern Lights, but that's not what I want to talk to you about. No, we had the super moon.
Okay.
When we showed up.
Okay.
Right. Full moon. Like, I don't actually recall what the definition of the super moon, but we had a super moon.
That's when the moon inhales. It gets a little bit bigger. Moon takes a breath. Gets a little bit bigger.
I don't think that's it. That's more of that misinformation, not grounded in fact, but there's somebody on here who knows what the supermoon is. Anyway, full moon. And the interesting thing was, like, how usually when you're out there hunting, like half hour before sunrise, like birds are moving, right?
Yep.
Like, nope, not
really?
This trip.
Well, it was
like ducks not flying until well after sunrise.
Was it warm? Warmer?
It was warm.
You think it's a temperature-related thing?
And the other thing was the ducks seemed to be going from roost water to other water before they flew to the field.
What do you think's going on there?
My hypothesis, not grounded fully in data, would be
you're just at the observation stage. It's fine.
Yeah, generating hypotheses. Yeah. My thought was, okay, it's warm. They don't need a ton of calories. They may be going to the water to get more nutritionally balanced diet of some of the aquatic plants there. But yeah, not a big calorie demand when it's 60 degrees, for daytime highs and 40s at night.
Yeah. So this time of year, the birds that you're shooting, have they started to pack on much fat?
Yeah, some of them. Well, I mean, it's a mix, right? Like we would say there's a distribution of birds, but yeah, the mallards and pintails that we harvested were acquiring fat.
Okay, here's
kind of the mode they're in.
Here's a question for you. So last week we pulled a package of ducks out of the freezer, one mallard, one pintail, and the fat on the pintails was that pearly white, just wonderful. Yep. And then the mallard was more of a yellowish color. So up there, up in the prairies, it's been a while since I've done this. I think I know the answer, but I want to get your thoughts here again, what your observations are. You shoot a fat pintail and a fat mallard out of the same field in Saskatchewan. Are they going to have the same color fat?
Yeah, if they're feeding on the same thing. So the white fat is more of a pea-based, like protein. Mm-hmm. I say protein, but the fat is obviously fat, but they're eating peas. I've seen pheasants have white fat when they're eating soybeans. So that's where I was headed with that protein comment. And the yellow is more indicative of wheat, barley, those kind of corn, cereal grains. Would
corn also be in it? Okay.
Yeah, I think corn would be a yellow type fat too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been my observation because in Western Saskatchewan, you're shooting white-fronted geese, ducks that are feeding on peas, and all of it's whitish fat.
And it's lovely. So then I would imagine if pintail is eating on rice, that's going to be a white fat as well, white fronts.
Yeah, it's a good question. I
think so. I think it almost has to be.
I'm less schooled in that. You should be paying attention when you're shooting rice harvested birds.
I don't get that many opportunities to shoot rice harvested birds these days.
You don't know that guy Manley?
Well, I do, but he's pretty stingy with the invites.
Yeah, well,
I have shot.
I don't know how to help you there.
I'll make sure he gets this episode.
Right.
But then I can't make sure he listens to it. But anyway, right. I'm trying to think. I haven't shot many pintails out of that field. I've shot some white fronts, and they always have that sort of light-colored fat. And then, of course, you can get mallards that have sort of the pinkish, reddish fat. That's going to have a bit stronger flavor to it. Yeah, probably been eaten. Eating more invertebrates and things of that nature, So, or they just are in poor. I guess some of the times I see that also is when maybe they haven't. It's not as I don't know, not in as good a shape, So I don't think
the skin has more of a reddish color if you're plucking them.
It does, but then there's still a little bit of fat in there. Maybe it just hasn't really taken on. I don't know. Just kind of not fully informed on all this physiology and fat deposition and what makes all of it up right now.
Seems like we have more questions than answers this episode.
We do.
I don't know. People are gonna. You think that'll hurt the ratings?
I don't think so. I think they'll probably enjoy this. Actually, it makes for fun conversations. We can get some of the answers right, but then what we also kind of hope we're doing is sort of enticing people that are very well versed on these topics to reach out and say, "Hey, I can help you out."
There we go.
And so, DUPodcast at ducks.org, subject line, I want to be on the show, and then we'll...
Subject line, let me correct those idiots who were talking last week.
That's right. And we'll get in touch with you and you'll see what we can line up. So, okay, what else? What other kind of hunts do you have going on coming up?
Pheasant season opens here in South Dakota.
It does.
They don't migrate, so you don't have to worry about, has it gotten cold, any of those things.
Does Ulu, is she a good quartering dog? She help you out with the pheasants?
Ulu is figuring out pheasants, although, Like, we didn't chase many upland birds when we were in Manitoba. So she just started working on that last year when we moved here.
Okay.
The previous dog I had, who was a young dog when I was in North Dakota, was very good at pheasants. She would actually kind of false point pheasants.
Oh.
Yeah. Just kind of cock her head and be like, boss, it is right here. And then you would tell her, okay. And usually she would pounce and the bird would go up.
Oh, okay. That's a fantastic skill to have there in your pup.
It is. That's highly beneficial.
Well, so the pheasant season in South Dakota runs through when?
Runs through the end of January, I believe. Yeah. You coming up?
I am coming up to South Dakota. I'm going to be there for the South Dakota State Convention. They want me to say a few words about something.
I guess they didn't take my advice then.
It's probably not going to be a discussion about the nutritional components of fat in ducks and geese.
I think we already had an exchange on this where it's like, okay, we should go chase a pheasant with you.
We did.
Now you'll have to bring your warm clothes because
I can handle that.
I know you're a little thin-blooded and it can be cool that time of year.
I am thin-blooded but thick-skinned. Otherwise, you and I would not be friends. So yes, I will be coming up to South Dakota. Sounds like I'm probably going to have to come up a couple of days earlier. Should I bring my 20 gauge or would my little 28 gauge if I'm shooting some bismuth do?
Either one of those will work fine.
I don't have to shoot non-toxic for pheasants, do I?
Nope. Well, depends on where you're hunting. If you're hunting on
the state
or federal areas, you have to use non-toxic. So lots of walk-in areas that are available.
Okay.
And you don't have to shoot non-toxic there. Okay. But lots of great non-toxic alternatives these days.
I'll bring a combination. Now, do you notice a difference in sort of the killability, if you will, of pheasants early season, late season? Have they kind of put on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So, okay. So I probably need to leave my 28. No?
No, I was thinking more killability with respect to how well they behave and how close you get to them.
Yeah. Well, still, that has bearing, though, on which gun I would bring.
Yeah. No, either 20 or 28. Like, the main challenge is you need to put the payload in the right spot on the bird is usually the issue.
So
that's the issue that I have.
Kind of like, I also need to sort of pattern my gun, kind of going back to a little exchange we had.
We did have an exchange on patternings. Yeah. I was very pleased with some of the patternings I got out of both of my guns with some new chokes and a variety of loads. They were all like deadly if I can put them in the right spot.
Yeah. Your point was valid whenever I said, you had a real tight pattern. And I said, that's good if you're on the target. And you said, that's kind of important regardless of what you're shooting. And I said,
that's right. If you're not on the target.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Well, it's, I guess I was kind of hoping for a slightly better report out of you.
Me too.
I guess I should know better.
I could tell you one, but it'd be a lie.
Okay. I was hoping we'd get a report on some more better improvement in habitat conditions up there on the prairies. At least we've gotten some rain. We've gotten some precipitation. That's a good thing. At least you're not like we are down here, save maybe a couple of instances here recently where we went 45 days without a single drop of rain. It was super dry down here. There has been some rain fall in a few areas, but overall down in these parts, it's pretty doggone dry. If you look at drought, it's down here in the mid-south and southern states and then up a little bit into the Midwest where drought has sort of taken hold. We need some rain down here. Y'all are out of the meteorological drought, but as you said, still need some snow. Yep, still in the duck drought, still in the waterfowl drought, and need to get some of that turned around. So we need more of that snow that we saw fall in the past couple of days. We need some more rain, and we will probably get back in touch with you or one of your colleagues up there once things finally do lock up. Maybe Katrina Terry, that'll be her time to join and tell us how her duck season went once that water starts turning hard up there.
Yeah. So who you need to get on? You need to get on those meteorological folks who can talk about whether we're supposed to have kind of El Nino or La Nina this winter.
I think we have officially entered a La Nina. And
Okay.
that was a recent declaration by the meteorological folks of this world. And yes, that is something that is on my list of topics to come. Matter of fact, I probably need to send an email here this afternoon, just see if we can line something up for about a week and a half or 2 weeks, week and a half from now. I'm gone next week. I'm back in the office. So it'll have to be that last week of October because in the first week in November, I'll be heading up to Michigan for my first duck hunting of the year. Be going up to Harson's Island, spend some time with Greg Soulier. We'll be chasing some ducks, hopefully shooting some ducks. But if they aren't cooperating, we will be jigging for and hopefully catching some walleye. So
I'm sure he can put you on some mergansers. Like, we'll have to alert him to this episode, and I know he can deliver on that.
Buffleheads are typically his
Buffleheads,
thing.
yeah.
Yep. Mergansers, that's okay. We give them a pass most of the time. But buffleheads, those little dudes are cool.
So you said La Nina, that generally bodes for better precipitation in the wintertime for the prairie pothole region.
It can. It's used. Yeah, it's cooler. The broad scale long-term patterns are cooler, with a chance of it being wetter up in the northern areas, but drier and warmer down here. So it kind of creates this pretty, on the average overall, this stark dichotomy between cooler, wetter up north, drier, warmer down south. We don't like the drier, warmer down here. I'm not the meteorologist. I'm not the person to tell you about all those specifics. We're going to try to get those folks on, and we'll try to have some fun with them again like we did last year. So you want to be part of that? You have questions for them? You can make something up.
I'm happy to join. We can. They know a lot more about that stuff than we do.
They do. So, all right, Scott, we appreciate your time. We're going to let you get back out of here. Good luck going back up to Saskatchewan. Thank you very much for everything that you do for us. Thanks for all these reports. I don't have to tell you to get out and hunt because that's what you're going to do. But to everybody out there, life is short. You better hunt. Thanks, Scott. Take care, man.
Thanks. Happy to join.
A special thanks to our guest on today's episode, Dr. Scott Stevens, our Senior Director of Prairie and Boreal Conservation Strategy. Always love catching up with him on these episodes. A great thank you to our producer, Chris Isaac, and everybody else that works behind the scenes on these podcasts, getting them out to you. And to you, the listener, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for supporting Ducks Unlimited. We thank you for getting out and hunting and spending some time in the field. Have a good one, y'all. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the DUPodcast, sponsored by Purina Pro Plan, the official performance dog food of Ducks Unlimited. Purina Pro Plan, always advancing. Also proudly sponsored by Bird Dog Whiskey and Cocktails. Whether you're winding down with your best friend or celebrating with your favorite crew, Bird Dog brings award-winning flavor to every moment. Enjoy responsibly. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit ducks.org/DUPodcast. Opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of Ducks Unlimited. Until next time, stay tuned to the Ducks.
Hunting season is upon us, and it's time to get geared up for the blind. Winchester, the official ammunition of Ducks Unlimited. Winchester has what you need to be successful this season with a great lineup of shot shell products, including Expert, Dry Lock, Final Pass, and Last Call Double Shot. Check out the brand new Final Pass, a premium steel blend load that utilizes 2 shot sizes for the perfect balance of pattern density and energy. Or try Last Call Double Shot with a devastating payload of tungsten and steel. Visit winchester.com to learn more and get ready for your next outdoor adventure.
Looking to build before next spring? Order now with Morton Buildings and get site prep savings by October 31st. Get ahead of winter weather and save big during Morton Buildings' Winter Build Sales Event. With offers this great, why wait? Visit mortonbuildings.com and click Get Started today. Certain restrictions may apply. Savings offer on new building purchases by October 31st, 2025. Building delivery required by April 30th, 2026. Contact your local Morton office for more details.
At Ducks Unlimited, we know the outdoors belong to everyone. That's why we're excited to present Ascend, a new series celebrating the journeys of women in the outdoors. In every episode, you'll meet women who are exploring, learning, and connecting with nature in their own unique ways. Whether you're an experienced outdoors woman or just curious about getting started, this series is for you. Our mission is simple: to inspire more women to get outdoors, try new things, and connect with a community that understands the power of nature. We're here to share your stories. Ascend. Authentic women, outdoor adventures.